Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little's Law YouTube channel interview questions. So, today in this video, we will see about the question, and the question goes like this. So, as a performance test engineer, could you explain the steps you take after recording the raw scripts, the basic scripts, with a focus on enhancing the scripting for top performance and quality? So, what are the steps and what are the approach that you take towards creating the script? So this is again a, one of the most important interview questions, and this is something that discuss about the performance test script life cycle. So now we will see the answer, and before that I welcome you all to Little Sly YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed yet. And now let's move on to the answer. So here I have listed down the top 10 approaches in the hierarchy in the order that you want to approach, or the way that if you are answering this question, so you have to answer this way. So the very first approach starts with script review and validation. So I will tell that I begin by thoroughly reviewing the recorded scripts to confirm that they represent the user interactions and transactions, and this step is crucial to ensure no essential steps or elements are overlooked or missed. And the second step is the parameterization. So following that, I focus on parameterization. That is, following the creation of the scripts, I focus on parameterization. I identify any static or hard-coded values that should be dynamically generated during the test, and this helps in introducing realistic variability in data inputs for a more authentic simulation of user behavior. And the third one is the correlation. So correlation comes next, or correlation comes after the parameterization. So I look for dynamic values like session IDs or tokens that require continuity in the user flow. So by creating the correlation rules, I ensure these values are dynamically extracted and replaced in subsequent requests. And the fourth step in the performance test scripting lifecycle is the dynamic content, which is the handling dynamic content. So dynamic content handling is more important, especially for applications generating content on the fly. So using regular expressions or dynamic data sources, I make sure these dynamic elements are dealt accurately. And the fifth one is parameterization, the thinking time. So to mimic the actual user behavior. So most of the times I get this question, why do we need to use think time? So to mimic the actual user behavior, I parameterize think times. So this prevents the creation of artificial spikes or lulls in the load, which can skew the test results. And the sixth approach or sixth step is browser emulation and user agent handling. So I ensure the scripts are configured to accurately emulate different browsers and user agents, and depending on the target application. So this is crucial for simulating real world scenarios where user access the application from various devices and browsers. The seventh step is error handling and validation checks. So this error handling and validation checks are must to do. I implement mechanisms to detect and manage HTTP errors, the server errors, and application specific errors. Additionally, I set up validation checks to ensure the application responds appropriately to user inputs. And the eighth step is parameterized authentication. So if the application requires authentication, I parameterize login credentials to simulate multiple user logging in with different credentials. And the step 9, the load distribution and ramp up strategy, where the planning, I plan the load distribution and ramp up strategy is another vital step. So I carefully distribute the virtual users across different scenarios and define a ramp up strategy to simulate gradual user load. And finally, the text execution and monitoring. So finally, I execute the scripts using the selected performance testing tool and closely monitor various performance metrics like response times, the throughput, the error rates, and server resource utilization. So by following these steps, I ensure that the scripts are finely tuned for optimal performance and quality, and by providing accurate insights into the application's behavior under varying load conditions. So I believe this video will be very useful to you. So until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.